It sure is a shame. 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 Got a soldiers adapting the killer's mentality. And welcome to the huddle. Came back in with some throwback Thursday. Shout out to my brother Bam. He say, Trav P, what you know about that? It's a shame, y'all. 20 years ago. He say, man, that laid back was timeless. Say our country is at war. Got our soldiers adapting a killer's mentality, and they don't even know what they killing for. All they know is either kill or be killed. And the ones that make it, we bring them back, put them in civilization. They apply war rules to life situations. That's why you had wives that got killed in Fort Bragg. All they did wrong was made their husband a little mad. It's sad, ain't it, the way this world is tainted. Couldn't have been the picture that God painted. It's a shame, y'all. It sure is a shame. Man and a lady having a baby, his mother's baby, father's maybe. Man, this shit is crazy. We got hoes going on TV shows, proving they hoes. Who's the baby daddy? Nobody knows. 7 brothers tested, nobody detected. Can we say net to Congress? Let's make horn against the law. It's a shame, y'all. 20 years ago, Throwback Thursday. That laid back is timeless. It's still staying in the truth. The truth don't get old. Each one teach one. Each one reach one. If you are that one, then you got to know that you are enough. Enough to get it right when everything seems to be going wrong. We know that your attention is the most powerful thing that you can pay. So if you paying me some attention right now in the moment or on the replay, I just want to let you know, man, I give my all in this moment to be worthy. Alexa, tell me something good.
We all we got. We all we need.
The P.O.P. show. Power of perspective. Man, I was chewing on some hero mathematics the other day. And I say, man, Robin Harris, when he came out with Baby Kids, and I remember that came out, man, that cartoon type of reality thing was a phenomenon. Everybody, I couldn't wait to see Baby Kids. And the most famous line from that movie was, we don't die, we multiply. And as I look back on that, I say, man, that was the alchemy of a people that's real. It's that simple. It ain't hidden. It's a sacred equation. We don't die. We multiply. Can you multiply? How good are you at multiplication? This ain't deep. We know it's multiplication when we look at the symbol in the equation. You got adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. Can you multiply? Because we don't die, we multiply. One man times one woman equals one family. One man times one woman times one child 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 times one child. We can get all the way to 9 children times of multiplying. It still equals one family. We don't die. We multiply. This ain't deep. There's 2 acts of multiplying. One act is the reproduction of people. The reproduction. The other one is mathematics. I say each one, reach one. Each one, teach one. If you are that one, see, the question is more powerful than the answer. If you are that one, are you that one that could get it right when everything seems to be going wrong? Do you feel like you're the one in every equation along with other ones that could produce and multiply a magnitude of power that creates everything to be right? We all enough. We all we got. We all we need. I talk this every week. I ain't saying nothing deep. And I know you heard it before if you paying me some attention. We don't die, we multiply. A lot of people ain't good at multiplication. Some people can add. Some people can count. Multiplication get kind of deep. If you're insecure about multiplying, then it's hard to kind of see yourself as the one. Because 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1. In football, you got to start in 11. 1 times 11 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. 11 ones equals one powerful team, one powerful force, one powerful side of the ball. 5 ones in basketball equals one powerful squad. We don't die, we multiply. Can we understand multiplication, or do we just want to add? That's why we ain't coming out like we used to, because we forgot what baby kids do. We don't die. We multiply. I ain't saying this to be deep, man. I want you to get it. Because if you get it, you got it. Somebody's got it down in their soul. I can feel it all over me. Do you got it? I got it, yeah. Do you got it? I got it, yeah. If you got it and you get it, repeat after me. We don't die. We multiply. Black alchemy, given to the world in the form of baby kids by one of the great Robin Harris, who left the truth. Do we understand? Had a real powerful week. Cam Kent, you already know what it is, brother. I love you, brother. I believe in you, brother. Saw something you put up with your baby. I said she looked just like her daddy. He over there multiplying. Another 1 to 1 family. 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1. More power to you, brother. I had a real conversation this week with my big brother Crump, my big cousin Curtis. Man, I want to talk about this from my heart because this meant a lot to me. I got two big brothers, man, that I'm sitting up under that believe in me, dropping knowledge in me. They say sometimes we hear things, but do we understand our position? See, I talk hero training, but sometimes and more often than you can ever imagine, I don't really be the hero in the situation. Boy, I be getting some real training from brothers who's on a beyond phase that I'm working to get to. But we was having a powerful conversation. My cousin Curtis, was a math teacher over at Chambers. I'm talking real life shit. I ain't talking make believe. My brother Crump, who's a instructor of HVAC electrical. I said, let me ask y'all a question, man. I said, all y'all experiences of teaching and training, I said, what creates the most hostile moments of dealing with children and adults? See, I want to understand. And it ain't that I don't, it's always about furthermore. Sometimes it get deeper, it's levels to things. So my cousin said, I know exactly what it is in the school setting. Say, telling them to read. I say, what? He said, yeah, man. He said, humiliation, it's like turning someone into a ticking time bomb. I say, what? So he started chewing on it, and then Crump come in. He said, yeah, you're not lying, man. He said, one time I was training at Goodwill, and I put a simple mathematic equation on the board, and I'm just running the play to get people engaged. So I asked the man, I say, can you create or solve this problem? And he was humiliated because he didn't have the basic math skills. So he went into a defense mode. So he said, I just got out of prison. You don't know who the fuck you fucking with. See, I almost had to get in position and stance to protect himself. So I sat there and chewed on it. The most dangerous person in the world is a humiliated person. What creates humiliation? Shame. See, I start out, it's a shame, y'all. It sure is a shame. Shame. Alexa, what is the meaning of shame?
Shame means God is gracious in Irish. It's a unisex name, but mostly used for boys.
Alexa, what is the meaning of shame?
Shame is a painful feeling arising from consciousness of something dishonorable, improper, or ridiculous, often causing self-consciousness and discomfort.
So when you ask a child or someone who may be in a situation that they are not ready to be called on, and you say, can you read? And they realize that they're not confident, they're not able, they're not willing to be on the spot to show the insecurities of themselves reading, they get filled with shame. And when you get filled with shame, next comes defense. And after defense comes aggression, because the humiliation has created a bomb, an explosion.
You really captured something important there. That cycle of shame leading to defensiveness and then aggression is so real, especially for kids who get put on the spot. When someone feels exposed and vulnerable like that, their brain basically goes into protection mode. It's not really about the reading. It's about feeling safe and seen. Have you noticed this pattern in a particular situation?
Alexa, stop. Yeah, you see how the AI work. I ain't even talking to her. She done jumped in the show like, let me go. If you heard what she said, then you understand. Keisha Johns, welcome to the huddle, sister. You add value. You one of the ones. We don't die. We multiply. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 equals one powerful force. You add value. So shame, defense, aggression is the recipe that follows humiliation. Humiliated person is the most dangerous person on earth. Do you understand how it works? Have you ever been humiliated? The platform of someone humiliating you is you not being able to accept your shortcomings. See, if you can accept your shortcomings, then you don't have shame. I grew up what some may consider fat, some may consider not. But I always looked in my mind and my self-confidence in the spiritual of who I am to say that me being fat made me fair. If I wasn't fat, goddammit, I'd be flying around this motherfucker. So I wasn't ashamed of my shortcomings. I understood that nothing is perfect, so I love my imperfections. So in the world, when I became in situations where I had to spar, the only thing that people could see was the physical. So they thought they would humiliate me by saying, you fat. But I had no shame. So it didn't work. And if I knew they couldn't read, I would say, read out loud. Can't see the mind. Can't see the spirit. Can't see the soul. But you can see my body and how out of shape I am. But if I can accept my shortcomings and know that there is a way to achieve, there is an effort to work to be in position to not be. Come on, y'all. A humiliated person is the most dangerous person. I want you to understand how it works and your position in it. Because if you don't understand how it works, somebody will work it on you. If someone humiliates you in a moment because you can't deal with your shortcomings, or you don't know, or you just goddamn ashamed, and they humiliate you on the spot, and now you lose all control and become a bomb and blow the fuck up and tear some shit up because you was humiliated. I want to show you how it works. It's the most dangerous person on earth. Give you a real life situation. Give you a real life situation, man. And this is about context. You gotta teach this real hero training. When you teach what I'm saying in practical moments, where you take a man and you make him unworthy to be shamed, because the most powerful knowledge is knowledge of self. And when you know who yourself is, man, the good, the bad, the strong, the happy, the sad, I'm ready and I'm here for all of it, because it's me. So I was dealing with a man, and we was doing training about rulers and tape measures. And someone gave him a tape measure, and they said, measure me 2 feet and 7/8. And he looked at it. He looked at it. And I know he hadn't ever been exposed to measuring something with a tape measure. I'm looking at him, but the whole conscience of what we're doing, and one thing that I try to put in the attitude, this is what hero training is about: morale, attitude, the way you think, the power of your perspective. And I teach a man, if he don't understand, don't never be ashamed to what you don't know, because we all we got, we all we need. And that's a powerful part of the process and procedure, to need what you ain't, what you can't. It's what somebody else here for. That's how we learn every day. But the only way you learn is you got to be real enough to say, I don't know. Because the truth of it all, from someone who knows it all, only knows we know nothing at all. So don't be ashamed to not know. Standing in that is how you grow. So I'm dealing with a man, and I'm watching him not know how to read a tape measure, and I could see the shame. I could see the defense start to rise up. Well, I ain't never, hey, man, I'm here learning, and I could see the aggression, and I say, oh, let me stop the humiliation. I say, come on, brother, you already know. You know. He's looking at me like, how I know. I'm saying, you know. I'm saying, come on now. You know how to measure weed. You know how to weigh some weed out. He's looking at me like, yeah, come on now, what you talking about? Say it's the same thing. The shame going down. I can feel him getting less aggressive. Teaching you about context. See, context means everything. Context could change the world of your shame. His shoulders come down. I say an inch ain't nothing but a pound. A pound ain't nothing but an ounce. I say, come on, brother, you know. I said, put the tape measure down for a second. I say, how many quarters in the hole? He say, man, come on, man. It's 4. I say, how many grams is an ounce? I say, 28. I say, how many grams in a quarter? He say, Sam. I say, how many quarters in an ounce? He say, 4. I say, what's 7 times 4? He say, 28. I say, what's half of a quarter? An eighth. How much can you get an eighth for right now? How much is a half? I say, see, you already owe. I say, so now pick up the goddamn tape measure and look at an inch like an ounce. And look at a foot like a pound. And put that goddamn shame down. He realized that he already know. See, in real life, when there's a threat of a bomb, there's trained people that go in to disarm a bomb, understanding how it works. When I say we all we got, we all we need, I ain't just talking no rhetoric shit. I'm trying to teach you how goddamn work. Sometimes we need somebody to take the shame away in a moment. Trying not to yell, and I'm trying to be calm. Sometimes my passion make me feel like a goddamn bomb. Responsibility. I saw a post today that triggered me, man. And it was a common post, but like you say, man, let me tell you something, man, about social media. See, a lot of times you can look at you can hear the negative connotations about things, but it's all about the context in which you're taught to see things. But everything be working, everything be teaching. The most powerful thing you can pay is your attention. When you pay attention to certain things, it's about the intentions behind your attentions that make you understand and see what's necessary to survive. This ain't deep. The bullets flying. Ain't nobody above the bullshit. But blessed is the one who can at least see some to dodge them. Most people can't see them. They getting bust across the goddamn head with everything. But I watched the post and it talked about home ownership. Is it necessary? Is it good? Should everyone want to own a home? When I looked at it, it had about 90 comments. I said, oh, yes, this is a socialism pool that you get to get in and understand the mindset. Because, see, in social media world, it's what we call an avatar. It's the avatar world. It's where people can be unapologetic in their thoughts and in their logic. It's kind of like the subconscious mind, and they behind a puppet mask, and they can really be themselves because they don't think you really see them, and they avoid or miss the whole opportunity to be ashamed because you can't really see me. So people tell a real truth. You got to pay attention to what's online. So people in here saying, no, owning a house ain't for everybody. You can't say everybody want a house. No, 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 no. I say, wow. Subjective and objective. The objective for every child is to grow up, to be responsible and have responsibility. Ownership is leadership. We got a history in America as black people of being property owned by other people. We didn't have the opportunity to own ourselves, so therefore we lack an inherited sense of leadership. So we got children that's coming up in this here American game. We got to help them understand that the objective and the goal is to be the ownership of your own life. But I'm looking at many people say, everybody ain't built for owning a house. Alexa, what is the meaning of responsibility?
Responsibility means being accountable for something within your power or control. It's about having duties and being answerable for your actions.
It's about being responsible for something, having power or control. By being accountable for your duty and your actions. That's what ownership is. I own up to my shit. I'm accountable for how it flows. I'm responsible for what it is. I own up to it.
Exactly. That's real ownership right there. Taking charge of your choices and standing behind them. When you truly own your stuff, there's no hiding or making excuses. That kind of accountability is powerful because it puts you in the driver's seat of your own life.
Alexa, stop. Thank you. So I'm talking to a child. I ain't talking to you. And if a child close to you, you cut this out and you let them hear this. There's an order. Talking real life shit. Young boy asked me one time in the trenches of truth. He said, Mr. Trav, what's your biggest flex? That was a trending type question. I say my biggest flex is I ain't never paid rent, jumped off the porch, owning my shit. Fuck where you drive, tell me how you live, cause where you lay your head say the most about who you is. Fuck is we talking about? Yeah, life happens. Yeah, situations happens. Yeah, people positions may not be. Yeah, everybody's on a journey. Everybody's not out of place where they desire. But if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. I ain't never been nowhere where a real man don't want the full responsibility of what he called home. They say it's hard out here. If I own the house and I decide to rent the house, I got to make a profit. I got to make it worth it. I got to at least make $500 at least to make it worth it, because if you renting from me, what you doing is saying is that you not in position to take full responsibility, in a position to say, this is my home and it's my responsibility. See, we raise kids to be responsible, but you can't be responsible if you never have any responsibility. And if you never want responsibility, then you ain't responsible for shit. And a man is as real as his reason. Nothing gives a man more of a reason. When a man has a woman and children, they become his responsibility. So his responsibility is only as strong as his foundation. So if you ain't trying to be the fuck of a foundation, then what is we talking about when we don't want to be leaders in ownership? And I understand everybody ain't in position, but let's talk truth on how you get in position to be a leader in ownership. And if anybody don't understand that, they don't die and they don't multiply. They up and adding some shit up. Man, I'm going hard in the paint, man. Because a lot of people playing like they telling the truth. And I'm telling y'all, they ain't, man. The truth ain't deep. The truth simple. Only a child understands it. The older we get, the more we complicate it and we make it like it's deep. There's phases in life. Come on, y'all. There's phases in life, man. There's phases in life. One time, right? Let me tell you how a culture used to go, so y'all can understand about responsibility and how we start using rhetoric to say things about what ain't real, what is real, why people do, why people don't, because we don't have a reference no more. We just say any goddamn thing. So there was a time in the culture when the dope boy culture got pushed up and everybody admired what the dope boy had. The dope boy had a new car. The dope boy had a new car. Tell you a real life story, man. This some real shit, y'all. I'm freestyling, but this real. I remember when I wanted me a new car, but I wasn't a dope boy. I was 19. Still staying at home. I was making good money. This was in 99. I had 4 check stubs. I brought home $998 after taxes for 4 weeks straight. I say, man, I'm going to get me a brand new Tahoe. I say, I can afford everything I want. I went to Chevrolet right there on North Tryon by Tom Hunter. I went in there, I gave them my name. I say, I want to get me a brand new Tahoe. They pulled up my credit. I don't understand credit, but I ain't got nothing, and ain't nobody else. I don't owe nobody nothing. They say, I'm sorry, Mr. Perry, but you don't have enough credit to get a brand new car. What you need to have is a cosigner. And I say, but I can afford it. Why I need a cosigner? I'm here. Here go my job. I've been on my job for a long time. They say, I'm sorry, Mr. Perry, but I know you're young and we're introducing you into this. This is how it works. So I went home kind of with my head down because I just knew in my own mind of not yet understanding how the real world works. I was going to leave and me a new Tahoe. And I went to my mama and I said, Mama, Daddy, they say I need a cosigner. Will y'all go to the dealership and cosign for me so I can get my Tahoe? And they said no. And if I knew then what I know now, I understand what the no meant. But at the time, I didn't understand, so I was hurting, and I felt like they didn't support me or believe in me. Talking some real life shit. And I didn't get a Tahoe. My daddy say, well, man, I know how you feel, but fuck the Tahoe. I can't co-sign for you. The Corvette don't work. You can have that. Fix that motherfucker up. So I fixed up the Corvette. Fuck it. Wouldn't give me a Tahoe, I'm finna push the VAT. I did that. But it made me realize, and I started looking around, and I started seeing people drive Tahoes, and they was getting the respect in the dope dealers. And I'm saying, God damn, I went to the dealership. I worked hard. I got this. I got that. I'm like, man, how did they get it? Who in the fuck co-signed for them? The question is more powerful than the answer. Who co-signed for them? How they going in there getting these cars? I'm a righteous young man. Start getting closer to the same questions. We all know the dope dealer car was in somebody else's name. That was the game. It's in somebody else's name. His apartment was in somebody else's name. He had the money, he just paid them. He couldn't legally use his name because his name would be tied to responsibility. But since he was in the dope game and he couldn't be responsible for anything, so he used somebody else's goddamn name. So when shit went wrong in the dope game, he could slide out and don't give a fuck about nothing because wasn't nothing in his name and he had no responsibility. I said, oh, this how it work. Made me jealous. Just being honest. Made me jealous. I couldn't find no goddamn cosign. And I ain't want nobody to put my shit in their name neither. I wanted me a goddamn Tahoe, and I can afford it. So going through life, the same dope dealers in the dope game. I finally built credit to put some shit in my name. I don't need no cosigner no more. I go to the dealership, put my name down, and watch my name go. Understand what a credit score is. It's about the measurement of your responsibility. How good are you being responsible with your responsibility? Man, there's a power in the name. Talking some real life shit, there's a power in the name. I'm talking about yours. Fuck any other name. Big brother say never lose your identity. It's power in your name. Gary Crump. Come on, man. Power in your name. It's a reflection of your responsibility and how responsible you are. When come to me and say, man, can I move in? I say, nigga, you crazy than a motherfucker. You got more money than me. Use your name. Why you can't use your name? Oh, so you don't want to use your name? You would have come live with me. You done went everywhere and made that shit hot where you left and you ain't give a damn because you ain't responsible because your name ain't tied for anything. You think I'm a motherfucking fool. And since then, we really ain't been that cool. I'm telling you how it works. Responsibility. Gotta be responsible. I'm talking about for everything you stand on, accountability. Everybody can't be accountable. If your child at Chambers High School, at Mallard Creek, at Hardin, at Miles Park, at any high school in this goddamn city or in this goddamn world, and they've been in your house all of their goddamn life, and if they stand up in that classroom and they get filled with shame because they can't read, then goddamn it, I won't tell you and everybody else who listening to me, you better be holding yourself accountable because it's your responsibility to know that your child is in position to grow and get everything they need to succeed and not be in this world like a fucking ticking time bomb. Children have parents. Parents bear responsibility, but we ain't responsible no more. Who's responsible for this here child? Nobody raised their hand. Come on, y'all. Yeah, what they say? Everybody clap your hands. Oh, man. Won't talk about phases of life, man, for real. Phases of life. I like to put a little personal touch because it's real life shit and I ain't talking make believe. My son had his first interview today. I let him walk in by himself. And I wasn't going to be in the moment, but I had to witness, man. I've been coaching this boy for 16 years to get in the game. I had to go get a glimpse of what it looked like, so I just went in there like I was buying me a sweet tea, looking over there at his posture, looking at how his confidence coming up out of him in his words, looking at how he looking a man in his eye with conviction. To say I am, there's a power in his name. I named him King Perry. I wanted him to go look, and I wanted to see him look into the eyes of the world in his first experience and being able to understand how he gonna give it to the world. I'm King Perry. I feel good. It's deep. I remember when I was in that position. We all children that has gotten old. You can't remember, you can't empathize. I did a whole lot of shit up until the age 28 when I had children. That was a long phase of my life. Man, when my story get told, it's going to be told from my children's point of view, my children's perspective, the phase before them. Man, as much as I hang my ego on a lot of shit I did when I was young, man, that shit don't even matter when my story get told, because the one that's going to tell it wasn't even goddamn here. It was just a phase of development. I got 5 more years before they phase out and be in this here world. I got to prepare right now. Mentally, physically, spiritually, for the next phase. My wife told me the other day, she said, baby, we're getting old. Sometimes it ain't rhetoric, sometimes it's real. I got to go burn 2 gallons of gas on my back Monday to start getting my yard right for the season. Man, good God Almighty, every year it get harder and harder and harder. I used to be eager and ready, but my baby say, baby, we getting old now. You getting old. When my ego say I still got control. Moving into a different phase. What phase you in? I was talking to a friend. He said, Trav, when I was in college and I got kicked out of college, I said, I didn't know you was in college. He said, yeah, I thought I told you. I said, well, why you got kicked out? He said, attempted murder. I said, God damn. See, I had a fuse. See, I had some pain in me, man. At the time, I ain't understand it, but I know it feels something and it came out every time I had a legitimate reason. Man, I wasn't a bad person, but when I had a reason and somebody turned my faucet and I lost it, man, I was deadly and I was dangerous. I said, but there was a phase in my life, man. I'm so thankful now. And if I ain't never heard that story, I would never understand, but I know I value him as a man because when we talk, he talked with so much compassion, so much empathy for people that's disrespecting him, not understanding his position or challenging him in a man in his principles type of way where he had to really dig deep down inside to know that I'm in a new phase. And I don't carry the pain I once did, but if I did, some people don't know about grace and mercy. I wrote a song say, I have grown to a better me. I'm growing, baby. I'm better than who I used to be. You got to examine and know the phases you're in. Sometimes the responsibilities still remain the same, but your position may change. There's a difference in time. I grew up with a rites of passage. We'll get out of here, man, but man, it's deep. I was sitting here thinking the other day, I was talking to my wife. I said, Keisha, let me tell you some real shit. I said, sometimes when I feel I'm really imagining my ideals of black family, black love, black pride, black power. I said, man, I really experienced that growing up and living in Hidden Valley. I said, but and maybe this ain't true. Maybe this just me and my feelings. And sometimes I be in my feelings for a moment, and that's what make me real. I ain't ashamed. But I said, I feel like some people think I just be talking crazy, like my ideals are unrealistic. When I grew up in Hidden Valley, I'm talking about, I went to this Hidden Valley Elementary where we had 98% of student faculty and administrators. I didn't know white people until I went to junior high. I was cultivated in a black utopia. Hidden Valley, right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And here's how the world works. Right now, it's known nationally for the Hidden Valley Kings on gangland when this was the utopia in the 90s of black pride, black excellence, black unity, black community, black love. I promise you I'm telling the truth. It's the foundation of who I am. It's the foundation. Some people ain't never seen it. I don't say this egotistically. I was a leader as a child at the historical Hidden Valley Elementary. And I say this with honor for real because I stood in some real truth. 1991, NBA All-Star came to Charlotte, North Carolina. We had Larry Johnson, Grandmama, Hidden Valley Elementary, 98%. Faculty, student and administration, 98%. The fame and the cameras came like they would do any city. They want to go to the culture. They want to represent the culture. But something happened in 1991, All-Star Week. I'm telling you, I was a part of it. All of the famous people came to the culture. But the culture wasn't a representation of struggle. The culture was of pride, excellence, power. I tell the story all the time. I rap for Kid and Play. I wanted to challenge them in a freestyle in the 6th grade. They say, y'all good. When we went that week, they say, y'all coming on the flow. I'm telling you, man, sometimes things change our life and change the trajectory of what's real. They brought us to the flow. They say, come on. I froze. Brian Harris went out and done our rap. But I froze. I couldn't imagine myself standing in the middle of the Charlotte Coliseum where every student in Charlotte Mecklenburg had got bused to this event. It was historical. I got called out to the center in 1991 in the 6th grade in representation of true in this city of Charlotte, North Carolina, of what black pride, black excellence, black power is. And I'm here to say I ain't shamed. I was shamed for years. I froze. Say I never freeze again. I ain't want to make it about me, but I'm telling you, man, these ideals are not unrealistic. I watch black men and women multiply, create one family, one family, one family. I saw examples of my friends' parents not live together. But if I look back and imagine, I knew his daddy to say that it was some of the greatest examples of co-parenting in the world. Ain't nobody above the bullshit. Life happens, but don't never lose the destination. We still multiply. We ain't adding and we ain't subtracting. Sometimes we can divide. But dividing is the opposite of multiplying. We still on the mission. That's what we don't understand because we ain't multiplying no more. We adding and subtracting. But my friend Bam, his daddy worked at Philip Morris, and he had a painting service. And in between working at Philip Morris and working on the painting service, I watched him. He had the Volvo. He used to come with the sweater tied around. He had the tennis racket. I mean, I watched him go be in the community and be an athlete. When I used to be on my grandmama house on both of them, there was a man that knocked at the door. Everybody would look at the door, and we would say, "Grandmama, is Dara the insurance man at the door?" And Grandma would come to the door, and Daryl would ask her, Miss Perry or Miss Fortier, you got anything you want to pay today? And they say, no, I'm gonna come back Wednesday, Daryl. I ain't got none now. And I would hear my grandma say, I got to pay that insurance, but I don't know. Hey, look, I'm gonna have it next week. But everybody knew they had to have insurance because Daryl, the insurance man, would come knock on the door. And when I moved to Hidden Valley and I looked up the street and I saw Devin and Dennis Turner, who became my best friend, and I got to see who their daddy was, and I say, oh man, your daddy is Daryl, the insurance man? Come on. Talking real life shit. I ain't talking make believe. And I'm telling you, it wasn't about a material thing. It was the mentality of multiplying and knowing you one of the ones. I ain't lying. I love you, man. I'm gonna get out of here, man. Real life shit, man. If I had to close and if I had to say anything to sum this all up, humiliation is the most dangerous person on the world. A humiliated person. The chemical or sequence reaction of humiliation is shame, defense, aggression. Take away the shame. Take away the foundation of humiliation. If you can take away the foundation of humiliation, then you create a foundation of control. There's no power greater than self-control. And there's no knowledge greater than the knowledge of self. And when you understand them two in balance, then you become responsible. And everything that's yours and everything that's responsible of you, it becomes engulfed in a sense of pride. That pride becomes a reflection of your character. Your character becomes the attitude and the base of your relationships. Your relationships is where your wealth lies. The foundation of your relationships are your name. I love you. Hold me down.